First of all, nothing changes in the game from the time they're 8 or 9 or 10 years old until the time we get them. The fundamentals are the fundamentals. And the only thing that changes with our guys is they're bigger, faster, stronger. Okay? But they still, the great thing about basketball is you have to have the fundamentals. And so we're gonna talk a little bit today on our warm-up about ball handling and passing fundamentals that I think are really important at any level. Being able to pass, catch, dribble. Okay, are really important fundamentals. So we're gonna do a little bit of that with the girls before we get to transition and running around and all that stuff. So I think that's really important. Whatever it is that you think is important, you have to know it and be able to teach it so they can understand it. Whatever it is you're teaching, whatever your system, offense, defense, fundamentals, you have to really know it so they can, and understand it so they can learn. I think that's, obviously is an important part of teaching. You're a coach, once the game starts, that's coaching. Substitute, offense, defense, timeouts, blah, 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 dealing with the refs. That's coaching. Anything that happens outside the game is teaching. Practice, and you're always being a role model and being valued or not valued by them at all times that you're around them. So when the game's going on, you're coaching. Off the court, and there's no game, everything else you're teaching, whether or not you know it, and you're always an example and a value, a person of value to them. You guys all know ball? Partner up. Okay, while they're getting ready here, come on here, girls. Come on. You guys partnered up? All right. We're going to do some really basic passing and ball handling stuff before we get to the full court. Now, I want you and your partner, so Grace, you and Ashley are going to get about 12 feet apart here and about right here, Ashley. Okay, T, you get with your partner, so we want you guys spread out a little bit over the court. So Leah, you come over there with Axel and get a little bit spread out. Hope, who's your partner? Alice, who's your partner? Come on, Alice. Okay, Bethany, you're here with Shauna. You guys are good. No partner? Okay, just rotate in unless we have somebody who wants to volunteer. My man, you want to volunteer? Yeah. You want to hoop? Let's go. Do we have another ball? Get that ball. Hurry up. And you're going to be partners with Alice. Okay, so we're about 10 to 12 feet away. It's really important at whatever level to be able to have offhand or weak-hand development. I'm going to assume that you are all right-handed. Is that a good assumption? Do we have any lefties? Okay. We've got to be able to triple both now. Come on, T. Okay, so we're going to just assume they're all right-handed. So we have to really work on weak-hand development. And so we start with very basic, what we call push pass. Now, those of you that teach the chest pass, that's pretty rare. That's more of an open court advance the ball up. What you see mainly is push passes. So we're really going to work on the push pass with our left hand, girls. Okay, so the push pass happens from my armpit, and my left hand is behind the ball, and I'm going to step with my left foot. And it's a push pass with one hand right to her right shoulder. Okay? So, because very rarely do you just throw the ball as a chest pass, because the defender's there. So we got to work on stepping around the defender and using our weak hand. Now, you have to do it at the same time. And I don't want those balls hitting. So at the same time, we have verbal communication and visual communication, okay? And me and Ashley, right? Okay, get the ball in the left. Come on, 2 hands on the ball, Ashley. So at the same time, we're going to throw a push pass with our left hand. Your target is here. Okay, that's a one-hand push pass. Ready to go. Come on. All right, keep going. Come on. Okay, and we snap the ball off as hard as we can while controlling it. So that's the first thing we're going to do to develop a left-handed push pass. Now, girls, I don't want to see that ball flying all over the place. Okay? Let's have some visual communication so you're starting at the same time. Left-handed push pass, go. Hey, well, I would say dribble. Push pass. Come on, snap it off. Come on, Sean. All right, step. You're stepping now. Make sure you step with your left foot. Good, snap it off. All right, stop. Okay, Alice. One-hand pass, okay? Okay, you're almost throwing a chest pass. So you want to get down. First of all, you should be down in the stance, Alice. Okay, and now we're going to snap it off with our left hand. Ready? Go. Okay? More with one hand. So you got to imagine, Alice, there's a defender in front of you, and you got to get the ball around the defender. What's your name? Huh? Tatum? Spell it. Okay, Caden is Alice's partner. All right, left hand push pass. I want to see you down in the stance, and you're going to make that little step with your left foot. Go. All right, so we're just working on their weak hand development. And then obviously we switch to the right hand and work on that. It's very basic stuff. From here, we do a bunch of different stuff. Why is the ball flying all around? Come on, girls. Snap it off. Good. Come on. Here we go. Come on, Bethany. Snap it off, Sean. Snap it off hard as you can. Step with your left foot. Good, Grace. All right, stop. All right, never go right hand. Right hand push pass. Go. This should be a lot easier. Push pass. Step with your right foot, Patty. Step with your right foot. Around the defense, okay? So a little step. Good. Come on, keep going. Snap it off. Stop. Okay. Very basic stuff. Okay? Now, girls, let's go back to our left hand. I want one left hand pound dribble. So I'm in a stance. One good left hand pound dribble. Pick it up with two. And now I make the left hand push pass. So the dribble's got to be together. So Grace, Grace, ready? Not me. Here we go, Grace. Pound, pass. So now it's pound, pass. Eyes up, eyes up. Any ball handling pass and drill, eyes up. Go. Pound, pass. Come on. Girls, good passes. The ball should never hit. Stay in the stance, Shauna. Good. That's it. Hope, right? Good job, Hope. See, you see Michaela, the last girl on the ball at the end, she keeps looking down at the ball as she dribbles. Make sure they keep their eyes up. Stop. Right hand pound dribble, right hand push pass. Go. Very simple stuff. Keep your eyes up. Stop. Okay, you notice that Grace and Ashley were passing off the dribble without adding the second hand, which is fine. We do that with our guys all the time. Because God's got to be able to sometimes come down, dribble, pick it up, and pass with one hand. And that's what you guys are doing. That's great. You can both do it. That's great. Now, listen. Right hand pound dribble. Cross to the left hand. Pick it up with two. Left hand push pass. Do I need to demonstrate? Ready, Grace? Pound, cross, pick it up, left hand push pass. Good, and they gotta have visual communication so they're both going at the same time. Go! Pound, cross, left hand. Cross over, so it's a two dribble move. Pound, cross, pass. Pound, cross, pass. Good, visual communication, stop. Shauna, you're playing two upright. What I mean by that is everything you do, you should be down lower. You're kind of up here, all right? Ready? Left hand pound dribble, cross to the right, right hand push pass. Go! And you just add stuff. Use your imagination. Might go between the legs, might go 2, 3 dribbles, whatever. But they're having to visually communicate with the team. All right, stop. Now, let's do this. Right hand pound dribble. The cross dribble is going to be between your legs. So it's pound, cross between the legs, pick it up, left hand push pass. Go. Together. Come on, Kate. So now they're just working on between the legs. T, put 2 hands on the ball before you pass it. Okay, when you pick it up. Stop. All right, now we just switch it up. We go left hand pound dribble, girls. Left hand pound dribble. Left to right cross between the legs. Pick it up. One hand, right hand push pass. Go. Quick. Good. Pound, cross. Make sure their eyes are always up and in a stance. There you go. Good. Together. Down, cross. Stop. All right? If you have higher level players, you can add all kinds of stuff. You can go pound behind the back. You can go what we call scissor dribble. 1, 2. Okay? Or either way. Okay? So at a higher level, but the basics are right here that we just did. Sean, you okay? You're gone over there. Am I boring you? You all right? What's your name? What's your name? Like on the bird, a talon.
Yes.
Okay, talon, take my man's spot. Good job. Way to go. Don't let me hang. Good. Here we go, talon. Okay, so we do all kinds of ball handling, dribbling stuff. Now we're going to get into some full court. Actually, we'll go cross court. So the one partner should be on the sideline, the other partner on that sideline. Hurry up, today. Let's go. All right, what I want now, listen, is 3 groups of 4. So Alice, you go here. Talon, you go there. T, go behind her. Maddie, you go behind her. Hope, you go there and there. Okay, so you're still with your partner. Now we're going to go ball handling stuff and visual communication. So we're going to go right hand dribble, and when we meet at mid-court, right to left cross. Grace, you got that? So I got to have communication with her. Okay? So now we're going to come up and cross. Go to your left hand, jump stop on the sideline. Keep the ball, you don't need to pass. Go back, Grace. Okay? So we've got a bunch of these that we're going to do, and the first one is right to left, cross in front, left hand dribble to the sideline. When those two get to the sideline, T, you go with Maddie. Go! Make sure they keep their eyes up. Make sure the jump stop. Oh, you did jump stop. Okay, make sure the jump stop and stay. There you go. Jump stop. Good. That's it. Eyes up, keep the ball up. Crossover dribble. There you go, Jimmy. All right, stop. All right, you just do that until you think they've done a good job. You go to the next one. Left to right cross. Left to right. So left hand dribble, cross to right. Go! Make sure everything you do that they're getting weak hand development. Layups, passing, dribbling. All right, they got to be able to develop a weak hand. Stop. Okay? Now, right to left cross between the legs. So as I come with my partner, okay, I may want to slow up a little bit. Right to left cross between the leg. Left hand dribble, jump stop. Go! There you go. Jump stop. Good. Make sure you jump stop on the sideline. Good, definitely. You really got to work on the ball handle, right? Okay. Stop. One of the best things you have as a coach is your imagination. Okay? So now, just whatever you want, whatever you think might be good. We may add an in and out dribble. I may add a behind the back dribble. I may add a retreat dribble, crossover. So you use your imagination to whatever the skill level is of your players. Okay, but so we have all kinds of things we could add to this. In and out cross. Between the leg cross. Okay, so whatever you think is appropriate for your age level, you guys go ahead and do it. So these are just very simple passing and ball handling warm-up drills. Okay, that we do. You guys good? In the middle. Come on. And we do these simple drills with our guys a lot. Okay, just, we'll pair them up into 4 groups or whatever. We'll do some simple ball handling and passing. Who likes to play fast break basketball? You guys like to play fast break? Okay. They all say, yeah, man, we want to play fast break. Who likes to run? Fast break run. Transition. Yeah? Most kids you ask them, yeah, man, we want to play fast break. We want to run. Well, shit, do you really want to run? Because it takes a commitment to run in that court, to play that way, to play transition. All right? Especially If you're a wing player, like a 2-3, or play the wing, it takes a lot of energy because you're having to run the furthest most of the time. Sometimes you're having to run baseline to baseline. If you're a bigger player, it takes energy. They get tired easier, and they're having to run. So if they say, yeah, coach, we want to run, we want to play fast break. Or if you're trying to get a commitment from them, then you got to understand it's hard. Okay? Kids say they want to play fast break, and then after 2 minutes they start walking. Coach, that was hard, man. So you have to understand that it takes a commitment to running on the baseline. Let's go. Today, let's go. Come on. Okay, let's go. Okay. The first thing you need to understand is our spacing. If you're a point guard, okay, make or miss. If you're a point guard, there's two ways that we like to teach our point guards to get the outlet. Number one is, say I'm the point guard and the ball goes through. The first option the point guard has is to get what we call back to the sideline, okay, butt to the sideline, to receive the outlet pass. So if I'm the point guard and Michaela's taking the ball out, throw me a good pass, Michaela, kind of lead me a little bit, okay, there. That's one way. The second way is to C-cut. Okay, if I'm a point guard and the ball goes through, I might make a little C-cut and get the outlet pass, and now I'm going. So that's the two ways we like to get our point guards on the run, on the move, catching the ball. Who's point guard? T, you point guard? Huh? Come out here. Okay. The point guard has to understand spacing and transition, and where we want the ball. Okay, and you see that volleyball line? Yeah. That's not for volleyball. That's for basketball. That line is to tell the point guard where we want the ball. So we want it in this slot or on the other side. Okay, so we don't want the ball in the middle of the court in transition, and you'll see why. We kind of want the ball on this green line in the slot. So once the point guard gets the outlet pass, we want the ball on that lane line, on that volleyball line, and maybe on that side. Okay? One of the worst things a point guard can do is to get the outlet here. If T gets the outlet here and starts up the court, is to cross the dribble to the other side, because that screws everybody else up. So point guards, keep the ball on one side or the other in the slot, okay? Okay, so T, get right here. Michaela, right here with the ball. T, no ball. Okay, give me a wing players. Now I'm going to have three lines. If you're a big, like a post, here. Point guards here, wings over there. Three lines today. Let's go. You guys figure it out. Okay? Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to lay the ball in. Michaela has to, Michaela, right? She has to grab it out of the net. Clear from the basket. Basic fundamentals, so I don't hit the backboard. Now, T, you've got a choice. You're either going to go back to the sideline, or you're going to C-cut, which I just demonstrated. And you're going to advance the ball up a couple dribbles. Then you're going to hit it up to Sean for a layup. Now, if you're a wing, you got to stay wide, Sean. Okay? You got to stay outside this lane, almost in this white lane. So you're running. We teach our wings. You sprint like Usain, what's that guy's name, Bolt? And when you get to half court, look over your inside shoulder to find the ball. So you're running as fast as you can to half court. And then you look over your inside shoulder for the ball. You're going to either C-cut or back to the basket, get the ball on the volleyball line, take 2 or 3 good dribbles, and advance pass up to Shauna. Shauna, you're going to lay it in. You may have to take 1 or 2 dribbles. This is where we use the chest pass. Okay? So if I'm T and I'm advancing the ball up, I may make the chest pass. You take the ball out and just trail the play down the middle of the court. Okay? So you're going to run hard as you can. I'm running my lane. I look for the ball. When I get to about right here, I make my angle cut for the leg. And then I need all 3 you girls to stay down there. Are we good? And then the next girls will be ready to go. Okay, I'm going to lay it in. You take it out. Clear the basket. Go. Oh, shit. Missed Push it up. Take off. Okay, she didn't seek that. We'll get her back to the basket. Here we go. Who's point guard? Somebody. Somebody play point guard. Okay? You can do it. Here we go. Ball's in. Take it out. Clear the basket. Advance it up the court. Nice pass. Okay, good. Very good. Now, we're going to do the same thing. I need 1, 2, 3 in here. Come on. Come on. Move. Move. Just start moving. Just move around. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. Go. Go. Good. Run your lane. Go. Come on, guys. Move. All right, so we're teaching them how to run the court. The ball went in. It went in. There you go. Okay, get the ball on the volleyball line. Here we go. Take it out. Point guard. Good. Advance it up. Layup. Here we go. Take it out. Clear. Point guard. Come on, Alex. Advance it. Not bad. And lay it up. Okay. So now we're just starting to teach them how to run the court. Okay? This time, get in here. Mix it up. Come on, Sean. I want you to take the ball out on that side. Yeah. And the point guard better be over there somewhere to you for an outlet. And you're going to be running that lane this time. Move. Move. Mix it up. Go. All right. Good. Good. That's the way to run your lane. Good, Shauna. Move. Ball's in. Let's go. Take it out. Look over your inside shoulder. Kick it ahead. Good. There we go. Take it out. Good. Run your lane. Make sure the girls get the ball in that slot. That's it. Let's go. Push it up. Okay, she was too close to the sideline. That girl. All right. Stop. Remember, you point guards, get the ball on this lane line, not way out there. Because eventually we're going to set a screen for you. Okay, get in the middle. Come on, mix it up. Last time. Here we go. Come on, Michaela. Oh, point guard, you got to be over there. Come on, come on. Watch which side the big takes it out on. Go over there. Good. Turnover. Who's taking it out? Take the ball out. Where's your guard? Okay, she didn't clear the basket. Take it out. Let's go. Good. Bring it up the lane line. Good pass. Nice job. Good. Stop. Okay. Forward this time. Point guard. Big. Wing, wing. Here we go. Figure it out. Forward. Okay? Now, if you're a wing and that ball goes in, your job is to run wide and fast until where? Half court. Then you look over your inside shoulder and see if the ball's on your side. Now we're going to work on the cross-court pass. So, if I'm the point guard, back to the sideline, okay, and I get it, and I'm advancing the ball on my volleyball line, I want you to take 1 or 2 dribbles and then cross-court it to the opposite wing with a good chest pass, and the opposite wing will catch it and lay it in. You may need a dribble. Okay? So we got big point guard, 2 wings. Move. Move. Scramble. Yeah. Hey, come on. Just move. Ball's in. Point guard, where you at? Good. Take a couple dribbles, cross court. There you go. Okay, that was good. That was really good, girls. But don't get all happy yet, okay? We still got some work to do. Ready? That's it. Take it out. Good. On the volleyball line. Cross court. She's open. There. Here we go. Take it out. Good. On that sideline. Good. That's a good pass. Nice job. Okay, so now we're starting to build up. Make sure your point guards don't, they can pass it across court, but have them keep the dribble on one side. Because if they start dribbling to the other side, then our screening game gets all screwed up. Nice job. Okay, so you kind of see where we're going with that. Now, neither one of those girls is open. You can't pass it. She's covered, team. I want you to keep your dribble on the lane line, the volleyball line. Okay? You're trailing the flag, right? You're going to come into what we call drag screen. It's a pick and roll and transition. You understand drag screen? No? That's okay. We're going to walk through it. Wing, T, wing, you. Michaela, can get another wing out. Sean, who's the other wing on this group? Was it you, Leah? Okay, it was Maddie. Yeah? Okay. So, let's walk through it. Drag screen. Okay, we're in good spacing. You're wide, walk with this team. Alright, so now you're probably behind the play a little bit because you had to inbound the ball. Okay, so this is a simple drag screen transition. Okay, you don't get it, go to the deep corner. You don't get it, go to the deep corner. Okay, so you would come in for a little drag screen me because I'm guarding T, and now you're getting downhill and you're rolling to the basket, and we're playing off of that. Okay, you may have to slow up your dribble to wait for her. One of the best drag screen plays ever was probably, as slow as me. Okay, because he played with great pace and tempo and knew how to use a screen, Steve Nash. If he walked in here right now, you would have no idea that he was a two-time NBA MVP. Because he just looks like, just a normal guy. He's about that big. And he's not athletic. But he played with great pace, and he knew how to use the screens. And he was terrific with left hand, right hand, all that stuff. Okay? So we're going to go 4 on a row down, drag screen. You girls on the wing, if they don't get the ball, you need to be all the way in the deep corner. Here's what I mean, Maddie, by deep corner. Obviously outside the 3, but even with the rim. This is not deep corner. That screws up our spacing. Okay, you got to get even with the rim, deep corner. So now we have all this open area with which to play. First 4 rows up. Here we go, Michaela. Come on, scramble. Come on, get in here, move. Scramble. And Michaela, find your point guard. Find your point guard. Where's she at? Get over there, team. Okay, she's going to keep moving and wait for the drag screen. Come on, get downhill. Make a play. Good. Next one. You guys got it? Scramble it up. Scramble it up. You guys figure it out. Come on. Yeah, that's the way to talk to him. I like that. Go. Run, Leonard. Get out there. Run. Go to the drag screen, guys. Screen. Bounce pass there. Good. Mix it up. Take it out. Get wide. Good. Keep on going, line. Now slow over. Wait for your screen. Roll. Get downhill. That was not bad. Hey. But Beth, you came in here, you made a nice roll. You got right to her, what'd you do? What'd she do, coaches? She used her right hand. That's a block shot. Alright? Left hand layup on the left hand. It's a little thing, but it's the difference between a block shot and an and 1. Okay? So use your left hand. Okay? That's why it's there. Okay? So that's 4 on roll. Then we would add defense, which is what we're going to do. Green. Get the half court play defense. Now, you better know who you're guarding, okay? You just guard, pick them up at half court, right there. Let's get forward. Let's go. Any 40. So we got wing, point guard, big, wing. Okay, move. Go, take it out. Now we're live. Get deep to the corner, Maddie. Screen. Whoa, come on, there you go. That was not bad. Not bad. Now, Blacks, half-court defense. Green, your ball. Green, scramble it up. Come on, Green. You're on offense. Okay, you're on offense. Run, stop. Bring it back, Green. First of all, what'd she do wrong? Yeah, she's going to inbound the ball right here. We told you to clear. All right? Where's that point guard? Oh, so you looking at me? I would have the answers. You would have the answers. Don't look at me. Do it again. Figure it out. Come on, move. Alice, move. You guys figure it out. You gotta have a point guard. That's it. Wait in. Run deep, Alice. Run. Wait for the screen. Use the screen. Okay? What's she do? Right to left, crossover dribble. She turned it over. That's why we do those dribbling drills. Because she just turned the ball over. Hey, ball, Alice. Green's on defense. You ready? Good, come on, team. Lay her open, wait for the screen, team. Wait, go, get down here, attack. That was not bad. Team, use the backboard. We have a rule, okay, on layups. Simple rule. You use the backboard or you dunk it. Team, you're not dunking yet. Maybe next year. Okay? So you gotta use the backboard on their layups. So you can see, now we're starting to get them to run a little bit. Now you say, Coach, where's the other person go? There's 5 people, right? So, with that 5th person, it's usually another big. You can do what you want. We like to keep all 5 players outside the 3-point line. Unless the big has a wide open layup, we don't want him going down in there and clogging up the court. Does that make sense? Do you see that? Some teams like to run their big to the rim and seal it. Okay, that's fine, whatever your preference is. But we like to run our bigs to keep the space. Let me show you what that looks like. 5. Can one of you bigs turn into a green? Can you? Okay. So now we'll do it 5, and we'll show you how it looks with the other big. Okay. So let's get blacks on defense at half court. 5 blacks. Okay. Hey, we have a point guard in this group. We got a couple bigs. Grace, you play big. Okay. All right, bigs, let's go. Now, here's what I want. Wing, point guard. The big that takes it out, trail in the middle, just like we did. You're the other big. Brittany. Bethany. I was close. All right, we want the other big Bethany to trail on the other volleyball line, outside the 3-point line. Don't go inside of it. Okay? And we're still going to run drag screen. Okay? Ready? Move. Okay, you guys figure it out. Sean, you're the point guard. Where's Sean? Good. Stay lifted. Stay lifted. Stop. Okay? That's how we want it to look. Space. Are you hitting with the basket? Are you? Good. That's the spacing we want. And the other big that was in the game, well, maybe you play with 4 guards. I don't know. Maybe she's a guard. So she's spaced too. Putting pressure on her. So now we run the drag screen, right? Shauna comes off. If you do a good job on the screen, Shauna comes off. Okay? You will. Now look at all. There you go. What if she sets in? What if Maddie sets in off the corner? Okay? And the ball goes right there for a 3. So the point guard just reads it. Okay? Greens on defense. Blacks. Here we go. Scramble. Blacks. Okay? You know where to go. We know where to go, Grace? Here we are. So watch the spacing. Make sure they're deep. Make sure the court is open. Where's the ball? Ball's on that side. Yeah, you should have been over here. Opposite the ball. Okay? Grace, did you inbound the ball, Grace? You passed it in? Yeah, so she's the middle big trailer. Okay? Get back, Blacks. Come on, let's do it back. Pass it back. Grace, lay it in. Lay it in, Grace. Pick them up. Okay? Defense. Lay it in, Grace. Let's go, Black. Let's see if they get it right. Good. That's our spacing. Drag screen. Drag screen. Good. Get downhill. Good pressure. Nice pass. Okay? Pretty good pass. Okay? So you see how we try to open up the court to space it. How much time do we have? Oh, we got a lot of time. Okay, so that's kind of how we like to run in transition. We like, and a lot of teams want the court open and spaced. Okay, now, double drag. That was the drag screen. Now we'll go double drag. So the point guard has to come off 2 screens. Okay? T, get the ball out here. Bethany, get out here. And Michaela. So T's got the ball here. Bethany's our first screener. Okay? And by the way, when you're teaching screening, Okay, make sure the screener goes to the three-point line, touches the three-point line before she comes to the screen. That's almost like a back screen. That's the way you want to teach it, so she'd come in here. So, if we're running double drag, okay, first screen, the second screener is lower, okay, about right in here. Go back and set the screen. Come on, Axel. Ashley or Axel? Axel. Alice, you there, okay? So now these two girls, these two players have to decide who's a better shooter. Who's a better shooter? Okay. You're the shooter, just for the sake of this. And you're the roller. So, if you're running double drag screen, you have to, one of them's a shooter, the other one's going to the rim. And they'll figure it out. So it doesn't matter who the first screener is, second screener, it doesn't matter. As long as they know shooter, roller, which means instead of rolling, come off team. Okay? Come off me. But I'm the shooter, I would pop. Second screen, you would roll. Keep going, team. Now I'll come behind you for spacing. Okay? So in a double drag, have you figured it out? Blacks? Who are the two bigs? Grace and Ashley. You know who the shooter is and who the roller is? Okay. Greens, half-court defense. Black, let's go. Okay? Who's the point guard? Hold. Scramble. Move. Come on, man. Take it out. Double drag in transition. Keep the ball in the volleyball line. First screener, Grace. Second screener, go. There's the roll. Oh, too late. You took one dribble. She hooked. That ball's got to go right to the corner. And by the way, what did Talon do wrong? Where did she catch the ball? Bad shot. Good shot. Bad shot. Good shot. Bad shot. Good shot. We want threes in the corner. Okay? Those little mid-range twos in the corner, bad shot. 2-3. Right? 3-2. We want threes, corner threes. Okay, that was pretty good. Whose ball? Green? Black ball defense. Green ball. Okay. Can we figure out who the popper is? The shooter and the roller? Scramble. Here we go. It's in. Take it out. Good. Up the sideline. Double drag. Stop. Get over there. Okay. Bring it back, Green. Remember, the inbounding big comes in the middle and is the screener. The other big, or maybe a guard, you stay lifted over there. Okay? Lay it in, Bethany. Lay it in. No switching. You can't switch. Fight through the screens. Here we go. Alice, is that as fast as you can run? Screen. Double screen. Where's the other screen? Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. Our guys do it all the time. They do it all the time. Yeah. They do. So, they do this. So we teach, the footwork we teach in the corner is a side step, okay? It is this. Alice did this. Turnover. So any drill that we do shooting corner threes, say they're running to the corner, as soon as they hit this thing right here, we call it the break, we have them slide. So it's slide, and as the ball comes, it's there. Now, do guys step out of bounds? Yeah, they do. Jamal Crawford used to step out of bounds all the time, doing all that. Said, Jamal, you got every move in the book, but you can't stay in bounds? Come on, man. So you got to teach them how to do that. And instead of doing this, Alice, make sure you sidestep. Okay, who's ball? Black ball. Green's get on D. Get on D. Lay it in, Tom. Double drag. Make sure they're not spacing. Space. Get deep. First screen. Come on. Second screen. Good. Now you play. Nice. Doesn't matter that she missed. She took the corner three and she was pretty open. Okay? So, girls right here on that green line, on the bottom line. So that's just a little bit of transition. Alright? They say they want to run, set up drills that they can run. But we'll do this like the same team would keep the ball 3 or 4 trips on offense the whole time, just getting used to running. Okay? Spacing, sprinting to the corners, the big setting good drag screens, knowing who you are you a roller, are you a shooter, and guards, making good decisions with the ball. Okay, that's kind of transition right there. Who has a question? How much time do we have? Oh, great. Yeah. What we tell our big is, if by half court, okay, you don't have your guy beat, you stop and you get wide, which still encourages the bigs to run, but they got to understand that if I don't get the ball, if I'm running, and we do this with DJ a lot, say the ball's down here and he's out in front. If he's not open, because his defender's there, we widen out and just space the floor. We want the middle open. Now, if he's got what we call over the top, we'll throw it over the top from the guard. If he's open. If he's not, we just want him to peel back space so we really open up the court. We want space. The guards pretty much dominate the game with us. You better have some good guards, and most of them are really good. So we want to give them as much space as we can to play. Most teams now, in our league are playing at least 3 guards at a time, and sometimes 4. Yes, sir?
About 4 different points I want to have a look at here.
Yeah.
Coaching to send our guys to the corner.
Yes. Yes.
Why aren't they getting more
If they're open, if I'm running, remember we teach our guys to run, and then they look. The first drill we did was to advance it. If they're open, that ball's got to be advanced.
The second part of that is, on your break, with your transition coming up the sideline,
Yep.
they look slow.
They look slow?
They look slow. Looking at it in terms of where we're going on the run, that's all I'm saying. In terms of where we're going, if you put it down and we're looking at transition, we want to run. I'm looking at it here, I'm saying, hell, that looks congested, easy. That's just like...
Right. But we have great spacing. Yeah, you're going to... 4 times out of 5, you're probably not getting an open look. The defense is going to be set. But we have great spacing to be able to play with. But that's a good point. They may run to the corner 5 or 6 times in a row and never get the ball.
And that's in New Zealand. They'll tell you, get stuff. I run.
Yeah. Better get some more players. I see your point. We see in our game, the defense is usually back because most teams don't send guys to the offensive boards. They may send one, like your guy, Steven. He'll go to get every offensive rebound, but the other 4 guys will get back. And so most of the time they're playing against a set defense, and they may not get it, but we've got great spacing. And that's why we're doing that in transition. That's a good point. Anything else? Any questions about any of this stuff we did? No? Yes, sir. Yes, that's a great point. Step up screen. Okay, it's a great way of transition. So, say I'm a little big and I did get ahead of the ball. T get the ball over there on the slot. Okay? and I didn't get it. We just teach this guy what Coach said is a step-up screen. It's like a hook. I come right back here. Now she goes that way, I go this way. And it's called a step-up screen in transition. It's almost like a hook. The big's running, and he hooks right back into it. It's a back screen, basically. We call it a step-up screen. And the other big would be spaced, and now we'll open the floor up. Yeah, throw and goes the same thing. Yep. I got good video on throw and goal. I'll send it to you if you give me your email. Girls, you were awesome. Thank you. We're going to take some questions now. Did you guys have any questions? We good, T? Okay, great job. You guys can get some water or something. Yeah, Coach. What? Spacing. The most common mistake in transition is poor spacing. And guys stop running to the corner. They start creeping up. Creep up higher and higher. And you got to keep reminding them, hey, don't creep. And our guys, creep means something different. But make sure they get to that corner. Get to the corner. 5 minutes? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Or what? Yes. Yeah, and the earlier we can get it, we want the ball up in this operating area in about 4 seconds. So we're starting with like 19, 18 on the clock from here. So we want to get the ball quick, because in our league nobody presses. There's no pressing. I mean, they can, but we play too many games, you can't do it. So there's no reason why we can't get the ball up the court and into the operating area in 4 or 5 seconds. Now we have 18 on the clock to play with, because there was no pressure. Push the ball up, and so the quicker you get it there, the better. Any other questions on this stuff? Yeah. We have, on the average, about 100 possessions per game. Each team has 100 possessions. And on the average, there will be 75 pick and rolls out of those 100 possessions. Because 2 reasons. The pick and roll is the hardest thing to guard in basketball. Our rules are different than your rules defensively. They can't just sit in the key. So there's more space. Our three-point line is deeper. And the guards are so good in our league. I mean, those little guys with the ball, they're a nightmare in pick and roll. Okay? So that's why there's so many pick and rolls. And you got to know how to guard it, and you have to know how to execute it offensively. It's everything in our league. The first thing we do, the very first day of training camp, the first drill is pick and roll defense. What are our coverages? How are we guarding their pick and roll? And you guys watch the playoffs. What do a lot of teams start to do? Switch. Just switch it. Switch. So they don't get caught in rotations and stuff like that. They'd rather have a mismatch than a rotation. Does that make sense? So you're seeing more and more switching. Which, if I had a bunch of girls the same size or guys the same size, I'd do it too. I'd switch. Much as you can switch it, I would. To keep your team out of the rotations and give up threes and dunks, stuff like that. Okay. Any other questions? You guys you're the most important coaches, and as you look at the whole level of coaching, this is my person, I'm going to throw my opinions out here now. If you start looking at 8, 9, 10-year-olds all the way up to the NBA, you guys have the most important importance and the biggest responsibility. Okay? To me, the best coaching should be done at your level with those girls and guys that are their age. By the time we get them, a lot of times it's too late. The habits are so poor. The work ethic is not ingrained. So to me, you guys are the most important level of coaching. The best coaches should be you guys. And for the most part, you're volunteers, right? So you're doing it for all the right reasons. And remember that when they walk through the door, you have no idea, well, hopefully you do, because you have a relationship with them. But sometimes you may have no idea what they're bringing with them to the court. Problems, this, that, the other. So, you got to understand, and I'm sure you do. So they come to us with all kinds of different stuff. And they don't care what you know until they know how much you care about them. And it all starts from there. I mean, and until you can have a relationship with the players, it's hard to coach them. Especially in our league. You've got to be able to have some sort of relationship with this player. Now, it's a tight game, and she starts tripping, and MFing the head coach or a teammate or something, I got to be able to go ahead and say, wait, not now. We'll deal with that later. We got to win. But if you don't have that kind of a relationship with the player, you can't do that. Because what are they going to do? Get out of here. Okay? So you got to care about them. And I know you do. Otherwise, they don't care what you know. Okay, so that's why it's so important to teach the young kids, and the emphasis on teaching them is really important. Because a lot of times by the time we get them, they got their habits, they're ingrained. You can have a great relationship with them, which is important, but their basketball habits, a lot of times, shooting, ball handling, my man's over here with the shot, right? Lonzo, you got to get that thing over here. No, coach, I've been taught this way since I was 7 years old. You know who I'm talking about. I can't change. See, that should have been changed. You know what I'm talking about? That should have been changed when he was little, from this to this. So that's an example of why it's so important what you guys do. Any questions? Please email me if I can help you with anything, X's and O's, philosophy, practice, blah, 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 all that stuff. No questions? Okay, thanks guys. Thanks, Grove.
Thank you everybody. I'm really honoured to be Aussie coaching the New Zealand national team, and the thing that I know, having been on the other side of the scorer's table, is that Kiwis are always going to play very hard, and they're always going to play great team basketball. And so my job, I think, is to kind of create a new style of game. I think that's lagging behind where the rest of the basketball world may be, and add that to the wonderful culture that's in existence here. So I want the best individual players that we can get and add them into that team feel, that team culture that you guys embrace so well. We had good success early with that at the Commonwealth Games. straight away. Now, the big part, I mean, I'm the national team head coach, but I need every coach in the country to have an approach that can get players along, pushing from the bottom up. And I'm kind of pulling them from the top. You guys are pushing from the bottom. So I really respect and value the role that all coaches have in providing better players for us. So to get the better individual players, it's a conceptual approach to basketball, not a dogmatic approach. So in teaching offense, there are 7 principles that we go through. All right? And so it's not 55 set plays or anything like that. And the things I'll go through with you, we did them every day with the national team. So instead of having 5 and 0, running through the play, running through the play, running through the play, it was all the principles that I'm going to go through now quite quickly with you. So yesterday I ran out of time in Christchurch. I've got to move. And what it all means is, we call it the play after the play, or the play behind the play. And what that really means is you can do anything that you want. So the junior national team coaches say, what plays do you run? Well, you figure that out for yourself. Run your own plays that suit your personnel. What if the play breaks down? What if we don't get into a play? What do we do? And we want to be good at the point of the play not working. So I'll quickly go through them. And Coach Dave Severns did a wonderful job to give us a perspective from the best league in the world about how they're treating the game, and that's kind of where we're going. Right, so we have to get used to spacing, and spacing is number 1. So we go back to our drag screen, and the girls are set here. So we had to teach the tall ferns how to space the floor. Right, so we want to get to those positions. Right, and a great question got asked about, we cut to the basket, does the postman rim run, all those sorts of things. They're not the standard anymore. Running to spread is where we want to get to. Right? So we have to embrace the spacing. Stay where you are. Now, for tall ferns, we need this guy, that guy, this guy here. They've got to be dead-eye 3-point shooters. So we beat Canada for the bronze medal game at the Commonwealth Games recently. The team hit 13 3-pointers in the second half. That was wonderful, because in the space of a month they embraced the style of play that they're capable of going out and playing against the number, 5, 6 team in the world, hit 13 threes in the second half to win the game by 15, which was great. We were ranked 42, and they're ranked 5. So that took a lot of work though to build the confidence and understanding that shot's okay, and we've got to be good at taking it. Because my view is, I don't want the tall ferns to be a mini version of Australia. That's a pathway to failure. I want us to be our own thing, but I think our own thing is a lot closer to, say, how maybe Japan played a game. And they're unbelievable 3-point shooters. Right? So the spacing is incredibly important, and the shooting ability within the spacing is incredibly important. And a lot of the game is going to come down to how you play out of this middle pick and roll action. Right? So everything that Coach Severns went through with you in the middle pick and roll is not for this clinic, but we want to get to there. And this is a start point, but with your spacing, it's also a finishing point. So if this 5-man or this 4-man, you cut down to here. So a really typical thing for tall ferns would be, we don't have NBA players. Maybe our FIBA rules are different. We have to move the defense around a lot more early. So in transition, 5-man, if you come to the ball, wingman lead back up, throw the ball to the wingman, cut right through the elbow to the basket, looking for the ball back. Right. We can't hit this player here. Throw the ball to our trail post. You come up out of that wing, take one dribble, pass to that wing, come up and back screen, cut to the basket, looking for the ball. Can't hit her for the layup. She's stepping out, go to the corner, pass back to here. Pass back in, rules, FIBA rules, we've kind of got to, without the unbelievable athleticism in the NBA, we've got to find ways of moving the defense around, creating easy baskets out of cutting, and then we get right back to that stuff again. So that's the beginning, but it's also the end of the play. All right. So spacing, that's all I need to say about spacing. The second thing is shooting. That's going to take a lot of our time today. All right. I need every coach in New Zealand to be a coach, a good instructor of shooting. So how do we make that happen? You can go and buy a DVD, 2 hours of points of shooting. It's so complicated, you'll never get it right. I want a parent who's a first-time coach, coaching under 10s, to be able to teach shooting. So what method do you have to have? Right. So shooting, you can start from the ground and build it up, or you can begin with the release and work backwards and teach it from the top down rather than the bottom up. Now I think it's easy to teach from the top down, and I found that particularly with girls. All right. Guys, I want you to grab a ball and get a partner. And kind of go back to the 2 lines with your partner you had with Coach Dave before. So a line over there and a line over here. You guys hustle up here. And put the basketballs in the line over here. And keep a ball. Oh, you got one? Right, partner over there. Okay. You guys sit down. This line. Sit down. Sit down. Okay. So how do we do it? It's your first coaching session, and I'm telling you that I want you to develop the next great shooter. So the way that we have to begin it, particularly for teaching young players how to shoot, is how you put your hand on the ball. All right? So hold your hand underneath the ball. Put the ball on top, all right? And spread your thumb out a little bit, because we don't want to have our thumb too close to our index finger. Spread it out. Now they've got to find a comfortable grip on the ball. That's really important for them to do. Now that's called a finger roll, because when we lay it up, it's a finger roll. Now from a finger roll, I want you to turn your hand around and hold the ball like it's a golf ball on a golf tee. So turn it around. Turn the ball around, and you've got to figure it out. They've got to be able to do that by themselves. And everyone's got a perfect, what we call the 3 sides of the square. Right, now from there, this is the key point, and this is the teaching point number 1. We want to, when we shoot, the seams of the basketball are horizontal. We want them to spin that way quickly, and so they keep that horizontal rotation. Right? Because if we can do that, we know that we are shooting the ball with a straight release out of our hand. So if I shoot the ball in a way that it goes crooked, am I too loud here?
I'll go tune it down.
If it goes crooked out of the hand, then we know that we're not releasing the ball the correct way. All right. So you guys finger roll, put the seam straight. Turn the ball up. Right, now I want you to shoot it up in the air and make sure those seams rotate horizontally and quickly. Off you go. You're only shooting it to yourself. My bad. Only shooting to yourself. Start with the finger roll. Turn your hand up, so spread your thumb out. And now can you rotate the seams? Good. Now shoot it a little higher. Catch it. Keep those seams straight. Always start your finger roll, turn your hand up. Okay, now your partner can stand up. Now shoot it to your partner. Now, we have a real problem shooting basketball because the kids start playing, they're this tall, and the basket's that size. And we can't lower the rings. You guys keep going, shoot it to your partner now. You've got to start the finger roll, you've got to rotate seams. Off you go. Shoot it to your partner. So we have to remove the action from the result. Because if you have them shoot the basket, all they'll think about is, did the ball go in or not? And we don't want to do that. We want them to have them thinking at first about the process of learning to shoot the shot. Keep going, backwards and forwards to your partner. You've only got to do 2 things. You've just got to start the finger roll. rotate the seams horizontally. Now you figure it out. If the seams go crooked, you ain't doing the right thing. You've got to try and get them straight. Okay, now, shooting practice. I did when I was growing up, after school, I'd go down the gym, you've heard the story enough before. I just find an hour or two to try and learn to shoot every day. Anyone who's half serious about basketball does the same stuff. But you've got to go to the court to do that. So I want you to find a way. You can do this at home. You want the players to drive mum and dad crazy because they've got their ball. They can sit on the lounge watching TV and they can flip it to themselves and rotate those seams and keep them straight. All right, now, just put the ball back to him. So every coach in the country can teach that, rotate the seams. Second point, we've all got, hand up, everyone's got a dominant shooting finger. So what does that mean? And I'll, sorry to use Australian examples here, since I know them so well. So Andrew Gaze is our Kirk Penny. Every time he shot the ball, his index finger, he wanted to point and direct his index finger to the middle of the basket. Lauren Jackson, our greatest female player, a multiple MVP of the WNBA, for her it was a middle finger. Now I love Klay Thompson from Golden State Warriors, and heard an interview and he was talking about shooting. For him it was both fingers. He called that a shooting fork. So he wanted his fork to go directly to the center of the ring. But you've got to figure out what part of your hand is the ball going to come off to control and forcefully direct the ball towards the basket. So we don't think about these things when we're shooting. So now I want you to rotate your seam, and I want you to experiment. Am I an index finger dominant shooter, a middle finger dominant shooter, or is it a shooting fork? You have a play with that. So start finger off. Keep going backwards and forwards. Okay, keep going. The drills look really basic. National team, Sydney national team, steps on the floor. They're going to do this first. Right, senior national team. Grab the ball, you have to rotate the seams. Right, so point number 3. We'll move quickly. Right, so turn the ball up for me, right there. Well, thank you. Alright, so we've got a good position right here. So this hand, the left hand, in the coaching manuals it's called the guide hand. I call it the devil's hand. It's going to cause more problems in your life for shooting instruction than anything else. And the two problems with the guide hand or the devil's hand on shooting is going to be at the release point of the shot. When we add it back on, it will turn and the left thumb will flick the ball. So you can see if we've worked hard to rotate the seams and shoot the ball straight, that will impart side spin. So we don't want to have that. Also, we want a natural shoulder turn, so when we shoot, the right shoulder will push forward a little bit, which means the left shoulder will stay back somewhat. But if this hand extends and follows through, that will ruin that shoulder rotation. So the two areas to look for are thumb flicking and following through with the guide hand. So we just want to place the guide hand gently on the basketball. So we've got this position. Shoot the ball the same way. Just do one hand shot. A little bit crooked there on those seams. So try it again. Finger roll, turn it up. Back again. So she's going to have to practice to get these seams straight. There's one more slight change here in the shot. Turn it up again. Girls do this, boys don't do it so much. I'm going to turn her side on. And we're going to shoot the ball to here. Right, now, are you ready? Just everyone watch the shot one time. Okay, off you go. Back here again. Now, I said girls will do this, and we've got to teach it out early. There's a gap between her hand and her arm. That gap can never collapse. because our three sides of the square, or our L shape, becomes a V because the ball comes down here for power and then push up. So many junior girls are arm shooters because they're trying to get the ball up to that 10-foot basket. So we have to keep that gap. That's sacrosanct. We can't, that's non-negotiable. We've got to keep that position there. So where do you think you get your power? Yes, thank you very much. So keep that. Ready? Now rotate the seams, but use your legs for the power. Off you go. Excellent. All right, so now we've got the foundation for our shot. Okay, so facing back to here. Turn it up. Get ready. Guide hand goes on the side of the ball. Just touch it lightly, but don't change your shot. See if you can still rotate seams. All right, so now we've got a good process to build our guide hand into the shot. Now, when we have players that can't do that, here is what we do. Take the thumb off the ball when doing form. Just put the pads of the fingers onto the ball. If they're still using their guide hand to help shoot, just put 1 or 2 finger pads on the ball. So the amount of guide hand that you've got is just gentle. You've got to caress the ball with guide hand. You can't be clawing the basketball. You can't be flicking and shooting the ball. Or another great trick, I don't have a coin, but get a coin and stick it between your thumb and first finger and hold it there like that. And the coin can't drop out. So when they shoot the ball, they've got to keep the coin there. It keeps a perfect position with that guide hand. Right? So, 3 keys for shooting. Rotate the seams. First one. My goodness, I skipped over the second one. The second one was the shooting finger, but I want to just elaborate a little bit on that. When we have that shooting finger, it's a dominant finger. What is it for you? Okay, shooting fork. So the second concept, when we know our dominant shooting finger, the shooting fork, I want you to see that that's a dead straight line. So the shooting fork should go directly to the center of the basket, and then we want to have a dead straight line from wrist, elbow, shoulder, hip, knee, and toe. That's what you're looking for. Right? But if we get follow through to the side, if we get wrist inside, elbow outside wrist, fingers outside wrist, knee collapse, we've got to try and straighten those things up to get a straight line. But remember, we work from the top down. And the third point is no guide hand. All right, let's go down to here. Everybody come down to here. I want one line over there, behind that netball park. And I want one line up here at the elbow. And 2 basketballs are there. 1 basketball. Okay. So we have that drill, and then we want to progress and add to the basket. Now, sometimes we need a step in between. Excited about one here. Sure. You can get back to one hand shot. Over here. If we have an issue, if the players are very young, we're going from our form shooting to our basket shooting. Here is a great way to practice. So go back to one hand shot. Put them to the side of the backboard. Right, so get ready. Now we're thinking about rotating the seams. And the second point on our shooting rule was to keep everything straight. So can you shoot the ball off the side of the backboard and have it bounce back to you? Can you do that? Perfect. Now, your alignment is very good, right? Because we've got toe, knee, hip, shoulder, elbow, shooting fork, all going to the same spot. To the side. Right again, one more time. Right. So rotation of the seams is good. So there are 2 great drills, up in the form drill. Put them on the backboard. Remember, remove the process from the result. Right, now we're going to the result, the shooting. Okay, you guys are set, ready to go there. You guys are shooting from the baseline over there, just behind the black card. Shooting at this basket. You guys are in a line here. Okay. So we'll go side of the court, have your left foot as your pivot foot. If you're on this side of the court, have your right foot as your pivot foot. And it can change based on the location of the ball, but it's a general enough rule for us right now that it will work. So what that means is that the foot that you have down, we call it anchor foot. So I want you to take your right foot, because you're on the right side of the court, and point it directly to the center of the basket. Because you're thinking about shooting the ball straight. So you've got your left foot down, pointing to the center of the basket. Now Coach Severns taught you about playing down. Right? So I want you to split your feet wider than your shoulders, please. A little bit back, because we're not shooting a three-pointer from the corner. That was a side step. Okay, now down, hips drop down. Okay, great. So now from this position, we step into the shot. Okay, so how would you step into the shot? Show me, shoot it. Here you go. Good. Yeah, shoot it. Shoot it. We're actually going now. All right, grab your rebound. Everyone saw that air ball, all right? Back and do it again. Are you shooting the shot? Swing in, shoot it. Good. All right. Now the reason we're doing this is that most players will spend 95% of their time stopping, starting, turning, pivoting, jumping off one foot. Right-handers will use their left foot, left-handers will use their right foot. I want 50-50 players. I want great players, left hand dribbling, passing, finishing, right hand dribbling, passing, shooting, finishing, able to stop and start and turn and pivot and jump off either foot. Now we're getting really skilled players. Right, your ball was there. So split these feet back. Just put it a little bit wider. Good. Because we want hip power. Right. Now here's our drill. You're going to shoot the ball, get your rebound, take your ball, pass it to the next player in line there. You're going to shoot your ball, rebound, get it, pass it to the next player in line here. Right, you got the idea? Right, off you go. Off you go, just start. Hustling, working hard to get our rebound, throwing it back. Second thing, we call this drill a blazer drill. Right? Blazer drill. So for the national team, 3 basketballs, there's a warm-up shooting drill, and we go for, I'm trying to remember, I think that it's 3 minutes, and we try and make 80 shots as a warm-up drill in 3 minutes. Right, so you have to shoot the ball well, chase your shot, get the thing back, and because we're in nice and close, hopefully all our fundamentals hold up pretty well. So just show the coaches, girls, a demonstration here. We're only going to go for about 30 seconds, but you must be prepared before the pass comes back to you. So the next player waiting to shoot, you have to have your anchor foot down so you can swing into the shot and go. Right, shoot, off you go. And we're counting our mates together. So it's 0. There's how many mates, there's the other one. How many misses? 2, 3, 4, there we go. 5. You can count. I don't have to count. 4 and 5. passing line over there in the corner. Okay, everyone go over in the corner with 3 basketballs. T, you stay over there, 1 shooter there. What's your name? Bethany up the top. Give you a shooter there, and 1 more player up the top here. Grace. Okay, now, spacing. See what his elbow is here? It's called the slot, S-L-O-T. I want you a metre behind, so you're behind that black line. Rate these multicoloured colours. Right. You can't drift any wider than that. Right. You're in the corner. So it means that you're shooting in straight lines, our second rule of shooting. Your straight line in your shot, you should be lined up directly towards the centre of the basket. Right now, you're not warm enough to shoot 3s. But for tall ferns, and what I really want is I do want to shoot in 3s in this drill. They'll warm, I cannot do that with the basketball over there. Okay, now this drill's called 3 more. Because once we get into our motion soon, we want the basketball to move. Right, so the role model for this is like how the Spurs, how the Warriors play in the NBA. The basketball's got to move to find the open shooter, and the open shooter's got to be able to knock down the 3-point shot against the defensive rotation. So your job is you've got to pass the ball to there, and sprint behind and follow your pass. Right, go, sprint, pass, shot, ready to shoot, sprint to here. Now that ball is chasing the first ball. Go. Remember your space, shoot it. Next ball should be on the way. Chase it, drop, hit it. Go. Good. Move ball. Good. Okay, and freeze. Now I'm going to ask the players and see how much they've remembered with what we do. What's the drill called? 3 more. What's the accent? M-O-R-E. 3 more. So there's 1 more pass, there's 2 more, there's 3 more. Okay, what's your spacing? Where should you be? You don't know. Okay, and that's all right. But we want to make sure that we're precise with our position on the court. And when the coach is instructing, the players aren't always hearing. Remember what that slot's called? S-L-O-T, SWAT. And you're behind the black line. Right, so spacing is our first concept. Shooting is the second one. We must be very precise with the positions that we get to. What's your footwork over here? Absolutely, because you're on the right-hand side of the floor. Right, and what's that foot called? It starts with A. Ship's got one. Anchor foot. Right, so anchor foot must be down. Now, those passing distances for this age group of player are challenging. Right? But we have to work hard at the velocity, the momentum of the ball being swung in the drill. It's got a real application to how we run our offense. Just put the ball back to here. With control, I want you to snap that pass as hard as you possibly can. I don't care what pass right now. But I want it to really go. So continue the drill. Snap the pass. Go. Quickly through. Remember, where are you for spacing? How hard you throw the ball? What's your pivot foot? Excellent. Good. All right, so moving along quickly, what we'll do with the team is we'll say we will go to a certain number of makes. So half the team will be here, half the team will be down that end. Right, we might go competitive with scores. So first team to make 11 baskets, 11 3-pointers. Everyone on the team is shooting the 3s, including our 5, they're our postmen. They're all learning to shoot the corner 3. Right, we might go a time. So we might put 2 minutes on the clock and go the most baskets scored in a 2-minute period. For example, we want competitive shooting drills and our fundamentals of our passing and footwork we squeeze all that into there. Okay, so that's spacing and three-point shooting, catching and shooting in particular. Next part. Bethany, grab the ball. Everyone else take a seat, please. Now, when Coach Dave did his clinic earlier, he told you that a layup for the NBA players was either off the backboard or a dunk. Now, my experience in coaching girls basketball is that one of the worst shots in the game is the layup. I don't mean an open court layup, I mean anything that's contested in here. We are nowhere near as good at the type of percentage that we want to have as what we should be. Right? And that's why I really encourage all players, not just girls, but particularly girls, to learn to develop a power layup, but it's done in a very unique way. Okay, so Bethany, you come down here. So if she, I'll just take the ball straight first, you just stay there. So if I'm uncontested on the layup, like it's a fast break and I'm driving down, I can jump off one foot and I'm okay. So we call that a speed layup. But anything where the defense is either to the side, or particularly to the side, and it's often coming across the lane, right, we want to get off 2 feet. That's a power layup. All right, now, when we shoot a power layup, we want our toes to point towards the baseline. Just get a little bit closer for me to the ring. Okay, toes point to the baseline. We want feet wider than shoulders. Feet wider. Okay, now, have you ever been to the gym? Done squats in the gym? How would you do squats in the gym? Show me a squat. Right, you don't do that one. Perfect. Just go a half squat. Perfect. Now we call that a power position. So if her knees are over her toes, her feet are wider than her shoulders, we've got a really strong brace back here. You can see the strength through her lower body. And that's the position that we want to get to. So when we're in this position, it's a right-hand shot. Left hand is up, elbow is high. The ball gets shot beside the head. Right, and now if the defense comes across body, it's going to be a three-point play. Right, the hard thing, Bethany's got to learn to do that both sides of the body. So if it's on the left side, get to the same position, and can we shoot the ball with our left hand? Right, you can do a load of finishing drills around the basket. I want to talk about footwork with this. So the footwork we have is something called a stride stop. Stride stop. Right, because when we do a jump stop, just go down there for me. A jump stop is when both feet hit the ground at the same time. A stride stop is the foot closest to the outside of the court, hits first, and then the other foot bangs down. Right, so 1, 2, outside, in. Right, it's really important that you get the sequence right. Right, now the reason we do it, we'll just face the coaches there. You're defending me. Right? Now, just watch this carefully. If I land on 2 feet together, jump, stop, and I get nudged, so you push me, it's quite easy to lose balance, particularly forwards. If I land on a 1, 2 stop, but I land on an inside foot, and I get nudged, I'll fall to my outside foot. If I land in a way that I go outside foot, I get nudged, I'm popping into her body, knocking her off the spot. So we land outside in. Right? Even when we're getting pushed, we've got good balance, we've got a chance to finish the play. And all players need to learn this. As soon as they start learning basketball, right, here's how we're going to do it. I want you just to start where you're at the green line, spin the ball out, do a power out. Stride stop. Throw it out. You figure it out. It might be close enough. No, it is. Yeah. Spin it out. Yeah, got it. It's all right. Figure it out. Go back. my instruction to you is you're going to land that knee outside foot, inside foot. There we go. Terrific. You can shoot it. All right, go back again. And remember how you were in that half squat, that really strong position. Power position. Excellent. Good work. Now show the coaches on the other side. Change your footwork around. Left hand, power away. Oh, and Coach Dave picked you up on that before. Left hand side, left hand shot. All right, here we go. All right, do it one more time. But I want you to think power. I'm pushing you. Half squat, power position, strength. Not being pushed over. Need some practice in that left hand. All right, just grab a ball each. Or get 2 lines up here. Give me 2 or 3 balls. Up to the green line. And a line over here. 2 lines. Yeah? Okay, so first time doing it, strike, stop. Doesn't matter if both lines go at the same time because they shouldn't travel across the split line, the middle of the court. They shouldn't collide. All right, have a quick go. You can pound those feet into the floor. Outside in, bang your feet, bang your feet. You're jumping off both feet, you're not jumping off one. Good, pound your feet. That's how we're finishing our play. Now, how do we begin our play? How does our footwork go so we can penetrate, play one-on-one, and go past someone? So I'm going to show you first the most basic way to begin with. Right? So show me your anchor step. Put that foot right in front of the three-point line. Left-hand side of the court, what's your pivot foot? Good girl. Left. Right? What's your pivot foot? Which side of the court are you? Are you on the left or the right? You're on the right, right? So you guys have got to outside in, left and right, coach. So this is hard. Right, so I'm here. Now split your feet. Get nice and wide. Yeah, cool. In fact, just so the camera can see, I might get you guys to move to here. Go that side. Right, split your feet, left and right. Okay. When you catch the ball, watching all the girls before when they're playing in transition. They're very loose with the basketball. Really loose with the ball. We want to be tight with the ball. Tight with the ball means you squeeze it, hold it tight, so it can't get knocked away, and it shouldn't be carried away from your body. Right? You've got these natural little places to hold the ball in your body, near your shoulder, near your hip. Right? That's where you want to hold the basketball. Okay, so here is what we tell the little kids. The ball can talk, so you want to listen to the ball. So if the ball can whisper to you, you want it to listen to the ball, where would you hold it? If the ball can talk, and I want it to whisper to you, when someone whispers, where do you hold the ball? Right, and now I'm the defense, and I'm here. So which side would you hold the ball? Atta girl, perfect. So when we catch the ball, it's a one-on-one situation. We want to be tight with it. It's on our hip. It's near our shoulder, right to here. Okay, so we're down. Now, this is called the crossover step. It's very fundamental, but it's the most important thing to get first. We want Bethany's foot, the back foot, to step forward and go beside my leg. Right? So she has to cross over like this, like an X pattern. Right? So she's got to step beside me as the defense. Put your foot right beside mine. Good. Go back again. You guys can practice that. Listen to the ball. Right? Cross step. Good. Do it again. Have a go. All right. Now how do we turn that from looking like a robot to looking like a basketball player? All right. So when we do that move, we've got to get our hips down, because Bethany's goal is to try and get her shoulder to about my hip as the defensive player. So your shoulder's at my shoulder. How would you get your shoulder to my hip? What do you have to do? Yeah, bend your knees. Well, do it. Do it. Right? She dropped her hips down. That's the key thing we want to do. So now her shoulder is kind of at my hip level. The lower player will tend to win in one-on-one situations. I go back again. Right, now, listen to the ball. All the great one-on-one players, when they rip and go, the ball is going to travel from here. Arms will come straight down, and with arms straight, she'll scrape her shoelaces. Now, see what she's doing when she's scraping her shoelaces? Where are her hips going? The ball is leading her hips down. So when she drives, her shoulder is going to come to my hip, and she's going to go by me. So we've got three things here to work. We begin with a tight ball. We're going to listen to the ball. We are going to rip, shoelace rip with our arms straight, and then we're going to cross over step, because we want a really particular relationship. So I can show the coaches again. We always want to play in a way that it's ball, my body, defender. Ball, my body, defender. We don't want to play in a way that it's ball, defender, my body. So when we've got young players, we want to play here. I don't care if we've got pro players. You want to play there. Okay. So come back, Bethany. One more demonstration. Listen to the ball. Shoelace rip and crossover step. And that's how we take off. And you've got to get great at doing that both sides of your body. Now we're going to combine everything. So you've got your shoelace rip, and Bethany, you're going to take 2 dribbles, and you're going to do your stride stop. Right? There's a lot to think about. Here we go. So you took off on 1 foot. Right? Remember, outside in. Everyone have a go. You guys can create a second one over there. You guys make 2 lines. Make 2 lines. Put 1 over there. Listen to the ball. Shoelace rip. Crossover step. Stride stop. Left hand side we shoot left hand. Right hand side we shoot right hand. So these are technical skills. They are technical skills. You can see that we have real issues with some of these skills. If we keep away from them with repetition, they will improve out of sight. Alright, and freeze. Okay, let's come down this end. Thank you. You've got to get on the base now. Thank you. Alright, now the rest I'm going to run out of time, so I'm going to move through pretty quickly. But I want to show you how these things progress. I want to finish on one last one. Lennon, how much time do I have? Lennon, how much time do I have? 10, okay, great. Alright, so when we get to our stride stop, if you're clever with faking, if you're clever with pivoting, you can build a whole game. So this is a toolkit for how a guard gets finishes and how I start a postman on learning the game. So first one was my stride stop to my power layout. Here. Second thing is we teach our players to shot fake. So the key thing when we shot fake is that my lower body wants to stay down in power and my upper body, my eyes come up. And I just have a short pump leg from there. Right? So shot fake, power layout, shot fake. But the third move is a spin away. So when I get to here, Bethany, come back in, you play some defense for me. I'll go on this side here so you guys can see. I get to here, stride stop, shot fake, defense walls up, hands up, which is an imposing target for me to shoot around. Watch my footwork carefully. And we usually should pivot on the ball of our foot. Right, if you put a nail through the ball of your big toe, that's how you pivot in basketball. So from here, I will turn, pivoting on that foot, outside foot, spinning away. And see the gap I created? Now, this is a great move. You'll see players even in the NBA do this all the time. And from here, I can shoot a little layup. Right, I can spin all the way back around and shoot a jump shot, or I can pass the ball back out. That's what we're going to get to. Third move is a spin away. It'll be equally good either side of the court. Demonstrate one more time. Stride stop, shot fake, foot furthest from the defender, spin away. I can be dangerous even after I pick up my dribble up. Fourth move is a step through. So as I get to stride stop, shot fake, spin away, defense follows up a step. I whip the ball. Remember before we learned to go here, to go 1-1. This time I go over the top. And now I'm back to my power layout. So that's our fourth move. And the last move, we'll do it with advanced players. This is our Dirk Nowitzki move. So I get to here, 2, shot fake, spin away. You've seen Dirk score thousands of points in that move. So we can lean back on one leg, fade away, and shoot. So that gives us an entire footwork game. All right, I want 3 players. One up the top of the ball. Anyone? Come on. One at the wing. One over there. Okay. So that's the corner. Where's the wing? And the wing. Okay. So, see how much footwork they've learned. And hey, it's the first time they've done it. You've got to chip away at this. Tall ferns do this drill every time we're together, without fail. It's called the Spurs drill. So if you think that fundamentals aren't important in the NBA, you're wrong. Coach Severns alluded to that. So this is directly from San Antonio Spurs. Girls, when you catch the ball, I want shoelace rip, 2 dribbles into the keyway, stride stop. So, see, you're going to do it first. Give me one good demonstration for everyone watching. Excellent work. Come back. Can you do it a little bit quicker now? That's very good. I want you to really get down deep into the keyway. Rip it, go. Great. All right. So, freeze it. So, we're developing our 3-point shooting. We're spreading the defense out. Now we're penetrating the ball really hard. We're getting the ball into the keyway. Right? But we don't want to take bad shots just because we've penetrated into the keyway. So, can you show me a spin away move? Yeah? Good girl. Good. Now, she's a great distributor, passer, facilitator. You can throw the ball to either one of those guys. So throw it to either one of your teammates. Right. Our first point, spacing. Spacing is terrible with you standing there and keeping your defender in there. So you've got to get outside the 3-point line as quick as you can go. Anywhere. Right? Your momentum will probably take you out to a corner, but anywhere you want. Okay, now what's your move? What do you have to do? Yeah, go.
your dribble, tough. Good. That's a stride stop. Now how do you spin away? Perfect, good go. Now, you guys throw the ball anyway, get it? Now what do you have to do? Move as quick as you can. All right, the game might demand anything. Get outside the three, right, go. Rip it, let it go. You're not shooting. Right, what do you do? Defense comes across to help, spin away, throw the ball, and let your momentum take you out. All right, so we've got the idea. And you can't shoot the ball till I tell you to shoot. So just start over here. Now this has got to be, I know you guys aren't for that war, but I want you to go as good a game speed as you can go. All right, G, start us off. Excellent rip. Spin away, yep. Ready? Shoelace rip. What's our stride stop? Remember how our stride stop goes? Good. Now go. Quick, get out, get out. Good. Right, now when she did her spin away, over here, so her penetration got stopped. Throw the ball to there. You kind of stood like this, like you're hanging out the bus stop. Spin away. You might have to move to hit. Rip, go. Understand? So if you want to go to a spot where the ball can find you easily enough. Right, start it again. Ready? Excellent. Ready to move? Catch it. Go. Go. Don't wait. I want you to catch it and rip it. Go. Get out. Get out. Rip, go. Stride stop. Stride stop. Outside foot, inside foot. Wrong way, keep practicing, keep right, we'll get it. Good, outside in. Spin away from the defense, turn away. There you go, good, go. Next player shoot. Next player shoot. Shoot. Yeah, shoot. Go on, show me shot. Alright, bring it back to the beginning again. We go really fast. Okay, so we're limited by our technical execution, but we've got a repetition is Lord and Master. We've got to do it. Become better one-on-one players with our footwork and our finishing, and then we can hit this pass and go. Now, we're catching the ball and then we're playing. So we have a rule at 0.5. 0.5 means that you've got half a second to shoot it, pass it, or drive it when you catch the ball. So right now we're kind of catching it. 1,001, 1,002, good drive. Your decision has to be made in half a second. So as our technical skills improve, we've got to speed up our decision making. Have another try at it. Ready? Go. Come on, go. Ready to move, ready to catch it, go. Spin away, go, rip it. Stride stop. Good. Nice footwork, excellent. Space the floor, you don't have to stand in one spot, you can move, let the ball find you. Good, rip. Get out. Okay, freeze. So you see how you're getting out? Here. Pass. Alright, that won't work. What we want to do is we want to pass the ball. Now you have to turn and sprint out. Okay, 2 last points for the coaches. Remember our 3 more drill. You guys remember it. 1 more, 2 more, 3 more. You have to do it. So I want you to go stride, stop. Spin away. If I yell 1 more, you've got to make an extra pass. If I yell 2 more, you've got to make 2 extra passes, and then the next player can drive. Right, otherwise, just catch and drive. So are you ready to go? You drive first to begin the drill. It's first drill. Off you go. Stride, stop. Good. Go. Get out quickly. Good. 1 more. What's 1 more mean? Right, but this guy was slow on the way out.
And why would you stop here and then pop back to the top? Where's more? No, I'm going to pass it. I'm going to hit right to there. Then you have to grip. Go, 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 go. Ready? Move, 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 move. 0.5. Get out quickly. One more. Go. Two more. One. That's one more. We want two more passes. Go. Drive it. Go. Go. How do we spin away? Straight out. Don't back out. That's what I went through before with you. Two more. There's one more. Quick, get out. Two more. Drive it. Good. Oh, spin away. That's where your defensive player will be. Let it go. Good. One more. Good. Go. Next player shoot. Anchor foot down. Let it go. Excellent job. Good work. Okay, now, how we progress that drill. We might say, instead of crossover rip, we want every player to shot fake and then drive. We might say we want every player to drive left because we're really good driving to our right hand, so we're going to practice driving to our left hand. We might make it a dribble limit, so one dribble, we might say two dribbles. We might dictate the type of move at the end of the play. Right, so we do this with 3 players and we do it with 4 players. And so we build the difficulty of the drill up all the time, and then we'll add more passes into it, and then we'll run one of our plays, and then we'll finish with Spurs drill. So when we say that, we're able to, in a big game, hit 13 threes in the second half out of motion, this was the play behind the play. Right, this wasn't our set stuff. This was breakdown stuff that we were able to keep the defense on the fly, out of their shell drill, which we all learn in defense, and we're never giving the defense a chance to catch up. Okay, so just to recap quickly, spacing is 1, shooting is 2, ball movement is 3, 1 more, 2 more, 3 more, footwork is 4, dribble penetration is 5, the cutting pattern we haven't gotten into, I'll have to leave that one, but the last point is rebounding. So again, Coach Severns said in the NBA, maybe one big guy rebounds, 4 guys run back. Our rule is that we leave it to the players to make an individual choice. Our point guard, we normally talk up to say, you've got to be a safety, but the other players, we let them make their decision. So if you think you've got a great chance to get the rebound, then you can go and rebound, otherwise you're back in defense. But that's not kind of one of these efforts where it's my teammate shoots and I kind of run into here. That means you're making a great effort to get the rebound, or tap it back, or you're sprinting back. There's no way kind of in between. You guys can have a seat. Thank you very much. That's pretty much it. I think time's up. Okay, so happy to answer any questions that anybody may have. If the simple nature of it and how fundamental our approach is, that surprises you, then I'm pleased because that's kind of a big part of our offensive build-up, and they get better because we just repeat it and do it so often. But you know the point I said, if you imagine a large spike, kids have better imagination than we do. So I always say have a large spike through your big toe, or your toe, and that's the point that you've got to pivot on. Right? You've got to really press that into the ground. So it's a great ball security drill. Give me a ball, give me a player, give me one player, quick, anyone. Come on. Thank you. All right. So get 2 people, your defense and me, team. I determine a pivot foot, right? And we just put time in the clock and come and get the ball off me. Come and get the ball off me. Right? And you just practice off one foot, and then change their pivot foot over. Give them 20 seconds and make the defense try and get the ball. And they will find out that it's nearly impossible if they're strong with the ball. Thank you. If they're strong with the ball and they learn to pivot correctly, it's very, very hard for the defense to take the ball off the offensive player. My other point with that, because again, kids have got great imagination. When you've got the ball, you're like the game controller on the PlayStation. So wherever you move, you can move the entire defense. You can move the player that's guarding you. But also, if you learn to fake passes, you can move all the people off the ball as well. That's a good analogy. Yep. Yeah, okay, great question. So, Coach is asking, when we penetrate from the wing, what should happen? And because how we learn to do our shell drills in defense is normally the lowest player would rotate over, and everyone else kind of rotates down and across. That would be a normal rotation. So what we see so often in basketball is that this player will beat their man and drive baseline, and they understand that that defensive rotation is coming. So the open pass is often to the corner, a second pass is to a diagonal player, and then a third pass is to a big guy in this spot here that we call a dunker spot. So our big guy kind of gets in behind the ball, gets ready to throw it down. So we know the defense knows that. So we don't actually preach the rule, coach. We say that the ball has eyes. The way I coach basketball is very clever. It can whisper in your ear, but it can also see you. So my job, if the basketball is over there, being penetrated, I cannot play in a line with my defender and the ball. So if the basketball is there, and the defensive player, I instruct the ball cannot see me. So even though this may be the correct position to be in, it's not the best position to be in. So I've got to move to here. Now the ball can see me. And then that goes to another principle we have called second cutting. So now if I don't get open on my first cut, and the defense steps up to take that away, now I can make a second cut to get open, and usually 2 good cuts I can score. So we don't actually strip the positions that they've got to go to. We use the rule that the ball has eyes. You've got to get into the position where the ball can find you. Orthodox things will happen a lot of the time, but a lot of the time they don't. And the best tactical play that we had through the Commonwealth Games was actually this shot where a player would penetrate. My teammate, you go behind me. That was usually the best one, because that's the hardest one for the defensive rotation to deal with. And that was in a 2-on-1, 2-on-2, that was the most open 3 we got. Spacing, shooting. The third one is ball movement. The fourth one, I'm going to get this right, the fourth one is our footwork. The fifth one, I've got these out of order. The fifth one is our passing, cutting pattern. I've got that wrong. I think I said that was 6. And I didn't get to that today. The sixth one is related to that movement, optimal penetration. The seventh one was rebounding. But they're all documented, and I've given those to Leonard. If you contact him or get my email off Leonard, then be sure to, we've got handouts and that stuff. So again, it's the play behind the play. I want us to be really good at the play behind the play, rather than, being so fragile because we can be scouted and our stuff can be taken away. I've got 2 book recommendations for you. First one's called The Art of Learning, by a guy called Josh Waitskin. He's a former chess champion of the world. He was the inspiration of a movie called Searching for Bobby Fischer. So the art of learning, because when he was a little kid playing in Central Park, he was a genius, chess phenom, and then he got a great coach, and the coach taught him to play chess because everyone got all the pieces on the board, and he showed how opening moves work in chess. That's how everyone got taught the game. And his coach did it completely opposite. He put like 3 pieces on the board, wiped the rest of the board clean, like it was a 2-on-1, and he showed him how space worked and how 2-on-1 worked. And that's basketball now. It's spacing and creating 2-on-1s. Right? It's a great read, The Art of Learning. The second book is a book called Anti-Fragile. It's by an author called Nassim Taleb, T-A-L-E-B. Anti-Fragile. It's a difficult read, but it's a philosophical book because he talks about if you're really structured, if you're really regimented, then you are easily crushed. And that's how sport is now. So if you're fragile, mentally, physically, tactically, technically, then you are food for a predator. If you're tough and robust, that's not actually enough anymore. You've got to go beyond that. And his concept is something called anti-fragile, which means in the chaos, you get better. So that's what I want for the ball firms. So when the game gets chaotic, when there is no structure, there is no plays, there aren't any calls, can we get better in the chaos? And that's why we do all this stuff. So that's a great read as well. Sorry? Was that my thinking when I took it? Well, given that this guy gave me about 2.5 hours to get ready for international competition, that was exactly it. Well, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it. I was a mentor coach for the team in 2017. We went to the Asia Cup. The team shot 14% from the three-point line. It was just, it didn't work. And that was nothing against the people or the coaches there. It just didn't work. And so to change that, and we came out, and some teams were 40-something% from the three-point line, shooting loads of threes, spreading it out, loads of free throws, very positive assist turnover ratio, all that kind of stuff. And that was a quick change. So, but I think it's a good blueprint. I think you saw with Coach Severns how our bigs will play. Our bigs won't be rim running bigs so much as they'll be drag, double drag, type screeners on the ball. So I think that's how they'll get over.